Hey everybody, greetings from sunny Saskatchewan. Sunny, cold, windy, beautiful Saskatchewan. Day 10. So today we're going to do a bit more Qigong, and we're going to have a topic today of think. So that should be interesting. It's a great topic, in my opinion. And the weather today is about minus 15, but I'm going to have to wait and check. I believe that's around 0 degrees. So yeah, so let's get right down to it and dive right in. Think, think, think. We all think. I know that for myself, my thinking can take me to amazing places. I love contemplating and considering and delving into ideas. But I find after I get the ball rolling, I often let it kind of run away on me. And when I get up in the morning, quite often, if I'm not careful, then what happens is I allow what I call autonomous thinking to take over, and that's basically just letting the day carry me, and the thoughts that I need at any given moment are what come up. And if the news comes on, or I see somebody, or that sort of thing, I will suddenly, carry parts of those conversations and those stimulus with me, and that will be part of my thinking throughout the day, and I can end up in loops of thinking and chewing on ideas, or if I have a resentment or something, I'll spin it around and around and around in my mind. And I discovered that if I'm really conscious of my thinking, if I actually stop and I take a look and I pay attention to my thinking, I can get out of that autonomous thinking, and I can become more intentional in my thinking. And with intentional thinking, I can stop and look what I need to think about. And when I stop and take a look at what I need to think about, I come up with things that need to be sorted out. I have problems in my life. I have questions about what next actions I should do. I can spend some time delving into different areas of my life. I can do a lot of sorting out of things with regards to my life. For example, one day I was driving about 3.5 hours, and I decided to just use focused thinking through that whole time. And one of the ways to do that is, for me, was to I thought about my family, and I went through each individual person in my quite large family, and I asked myself a question or two about each of them. And then when I was finished with one, I would go on to the next, and I discovered a lot of things. And so rather than just allowing my mind to run all on its own, I was able to really put that my mental occupation to work in a really positive way for me. And so I've also discovered that I can go for long periods of time not solving problems, that if I had just stopped for 5 minutes and gave it some intentional focused thought, I would have solved. And I had one really crazy example where I had difficulty with a particular problem. It was a mechanical situation on my motorhome. And it had been bothering me for about a year. It wasn't, something I really needed to deal with, but it was one of those things I procrastinated about. And when I stopped for a minute, I had some intentional thinking about it, and a minute and a half later, I had the solution. So it took me about a year, and all it really took me was about a minute and a half. And so by taking a look at this great power that we sort of take for granted and tapping into it and using it to great advantage, we can use intentional thinking regularly. But quite often, because we have this mind, a lot of stuff going on in our mind, I think we can be guilty of putting on televisions or distracting ourselves with social media and all kinds of other things, which of course then stimulate more thinking rather than getting rid of thinking, but they distract our mind from thinking. So stopping and making good use of this great power we were given to think. The power of thinking. So that's enough out of me for today. Glad you're here, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.